Let's all roll for our hobby. Let's all roll for our hobby. Oh, let's all roll for our hobby to get ourselves a crit. Tipsy's drunk as shit. Onyx loves to hit. Ooh, Rock's magic is handy. Toot Toot's music is dandy. So let's all roll for our hobby to get ourselves a crit. Let's all roll for our hobby to get ourselves a crit.
Come, friend, now lend me an ear for a tale of Victor the Weird. He went on an adventure with he, him, and himself, and also his mighty fine beard. Now gather round, I'll tell you about this mighty beast. He may look as human, as mere as you, friend, but soon your eyes will feast upon this marvelous creature with many body parts. His one shirt may fool you, but what if I told you his chest had 4 red hearts? One mouth but 1,000 voices, one mind and limited choices. 2 handsome dice, 2 handsome dice. The audience rejoices. He's going to play D&D with him, himself, and he. Those are his pronouns, it's really profound. It's time for D&Me, featuring Victor and Victor and Victor, and Victor and Victor and Victor, and Victor and Victor and Victor and Victor and Victor. One knows who knows how many repeats. So come and sit down in an empty seat. It's time for D&Me. 2 eyes, 4 cheeks, 2 souls on his feet, 2 hands for winning and foes to defeat, 1 tongue, 2 lips through which to speak, but just one but.
Hello everybody, I'm Victor Rivera and welcome to D&Me, where I play with myself. I play D&D with myself, and welcome to the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything, episode 42. Hello, welcome, thank you for joining us tonight. A couple things we got going on before I go into the game proper. A couple D&D research after the facts and a D&D revision or two. D&D research after the fact. I came across a point where I was like, oh no, Onyx. Onyx is doing a thing right now where he's raging, and I was wondering if him raging would have been gone if he did not hit anyone. I was like, oh, he's raging, and so that might actually be lost if blah, blah, blah. I actually looked it up, and for raging, your rage lasts for 1 minute. That means 10 6-second rounds. It ends early if you are knocked unconscious, sure, or if your turn ends and you haven't attacked a hostile creature since your last turn, or taken damage since then. And you can also end your rage on your turn as a bonus action, but it doesn't. I thought it meant. I thought the wording was if Onyx doesn't land an attack, then he loses his rage. However, he did attack every single freaking time, so his rage maintains. So that's good. So a D&D revision was Morgana in her full feral form ran past and through Tipsy in order to get to the spiral staircase up, and I said that Tipsy would get an opportunity attack on her. Nope, before that. So Tipsy just entered into the studio and saw the air bubbling to his left and then stabbed. And he connected, and I rolled for the sneak attack damage, but I doubled it because the first 2 sneak attacks he rolled with advantage for both of them, and then he got natural 20s. So I doubled those dices, and so the third time I got sneak attack, then I accidentally doubled those dices. So that was incorrect. I added those HP back into Morgana. But what I was describing before was when Morgana was running and then pushed Tipsy aside in order to get to the spiral staircase up, then he rolled once for an opportunity attack. However, he does get sneak attack because, 1, she's blinded, so all attacks on her have advantage, and I thought that the wording was once per round for sneak attack. However, on page 96 of the player's handbook, It says for sneak attack, once per turn, you can deal an extra blah blah damage to one creature, blah blah blah. So that means a turn is each individual like movement, action, bonus action, reaction for one character. A round is everyone's turn. Rounds take 6 seconds, but each turn, for example, when Morgana ran and Tipsy got an opportunity attack, that was her turn. So right now I am going to roll to see if Tipsy actually does hit Morgana, because that domino effect downwards. He rolled a 13 for the first time. Let's see if he gets higher than what he needs. That's a 6. So all of that research I just did. Good. All right. Good. Lovely. I just wanted to see, because it would have had ramifications, but not with a 6. A 6 plus. Oh, wait. Tipsy has 1,000,000 to his bonus. 6 plus 7. That's still 13, which does not hit. Okay. And he rolled a 13, which that actually might have hit. 13, or maybe he rolled a 6 previously, and then I added the 7, and that's why it was a 13. I don't know. I'm just going to say it doesn't really work. So that's a D&R revision. Great. And then, let me mute my phone just in case. All right. Bop, 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 bop. And for my last little D&R research after the fact, Tipsy, right at the end for his outro, asked what a worm was. WYRM. And so I was doing research during the D&R pre-show, and I found this pretty good infographic from Adrian Torrijos. Torrijos. Adrian Torrijos on Pinterest. So this is a pretty cool infographic. Ooh, let me get my D&Me arrow up. All right. So we got ourselves our normal dragons. That's 4 feet. That's 4 legs and wings. So if we work our way around clockwise, then wyverns, their wings are actually their front 2 legs. So eagle-eyed viewers will tell that these are the dragons from Skyrim, for example. And then we have a cockatrice, which I guess is a small wyvern. I don't really know. And then a fae, which is a type of dragon. I guess Wishes is a fairy dragon. So I don't think this is Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition accurate, but it's pretty dang close. So we have an amphitheater up here. No, an amphi there, which looks like the front 2 legs are the wings and no back legs. So now we have a worm, which has no legs or wings. It's just a worm, a bitey end and a poopy end. So I guess that's why you call dragons worms as insults, because it's like the chromatic opposite. Well, actually, that's not true, because there's chromatic dragons: blue, green, white, red, and black. So we have a Quetzalcoatl up here, which is like feathered, and then a sea serpent, which is finned. We have a lindworm, which just has 2 little legs out front, and then we have a salamander, which is a Dungeons & Dragons character, actually. It's very electric, boogie woogie woogie. So it has a bunch of legs, 8 legs altogether. A long dragon's a long boy, and then we have a drake, which looks like has no wings, and then a Kirine, which I guess is like a horse thingy, and then a hydra, which is a drake but with multiple necks. So that's the D&R research I just did. So there you go, Tipsy.
Cool, thanks.
You're welcome.
I wasn't paying attention. What was that?
No, Tipsy, no. And then before a D&R recap, we have this magical package. So this is going to be exciting. I'll tell you why soon. But let's roll to see who opens it. 1 is Tipsy, 2 is Onyx, 3 is Rock, 4 is Toot Toot. 4 Toot Toot. Hello, it's good to be back. Victor hasn't worn this shirt for D&Me yet, so it actually looks rather slimming on us. But we have an unboxing, which is a momentous occasion. Let's tear into it. Oh, wow. That was a very tiny amount of effort, but progress. There we go. Yeah. That has address on it. But this is exciting because, ladies and gentlemen, gamers and adventurers, this is Out of the Abyss. Out of the Abyss. Out of the Abyss. Dare to descend into the Underdark in this adventure for the world's greatest role-playing game. Madness is the only escape. The Underdark is a subterranean wonderland, a vast and twisted labyrinth where fear reigns. It is the home of horrific monsters that have never seen the light of day. And with this, D&Me officially has all of the Dungeons & Dragons books that are not the newest releases. So that's terribly exciting. We will make a post about it tomorrow of how many that is, but with this, literally, we have every Dungeons & Dragons book. So, that's incredible. Rage of Demons. All right, so we're just going to be playing out of this. No, let's see. Is there anything fun that I can flip through? There we go. So, oh, yeah. That's one. Woohoo! Congrats! Great collection. Thank you very much. And so we have another book that's normally not out here, but it's Fizban's Treasury of Dragons. So I did a little bit of research. Victor did a little bit of research trying to find out what a wormling and a great worm are, because both of those are mentioned in this book. However, we kind of ran out of time, so we didn't get a clear definition on either. But we did it! Books! So that's very exciting. Thank you, Toot Toot, for opening that. And here we go into D&Recap. What has happened so far? Well, at the end of episode 40, Combats and Cliffhangers, we entered into the biggest cliffhanger of D&Me so far, where Tipsy picked open a door and opened it into the three owners of the Restful Lily, Morgana, Peggy, and Auntie Warmheart. Painting a portrait of Chainco, the hairless dwarf, and Auntie Warmheart saying, "Well, it looks like you are next." To which, episode 41, Full Foyer, then a huge fight broke out. No, that's not true. Here, let me go over to the map. So Rock figured out with a hint from Glimmer that what Saeth was wearing, Saeth the welcoming employee, was a hag's eye as a brooch, a pin on his lapel. And through that, then Rock figured out that this is a bunch of baddies, and destroying the hag eye would be a huge leg up in the battle. So he used magic missiles to hit that, and then it was a huge battle for 3 hours, which is the longest D&Me episode so far. And we downed Peggy Pig Knuckle, and Auntie Warmheart disappeared. Morgana ran up the stairs in a transformed state. Saeth ran fearful from Toot Toot up the stairs. Glimmer ran away from the tower. And that's pretty much it. Tipsy's upstairs. So we have a bunch of stuff going on. I will roll something right now, because it's going to be important. 14. Oh, I don't have any of my reference sheets out. Let me do that real quick. This is Wishes the Fairy Dragon. This is another character sheet. This is Glimmer the Kenku. And those are other character sheets. So, 14. Okay. Excellent. So, da-da-da-da. Excellent. We last left off with Toot Toot walking into the studio to see Onyx in front of a dead hellhound and Chainco cowering in the corner. And Chainco, as soon as Toot Toot steps in, then he goes, one of them was by the easel, but no, hold on. One of them was by the easel, and then they turned out to be across the room, then ran out of the room, and then the other one was in the chair. And then Toot Toot will... Because I had been thinking about this all week, but I just realized something new. Okay, Toot Toot will stare at the chair. Real great. So he will do a perception check on the chair. An 11 plus 3, 14, then he doesn't see anything moving in the chair. But with a 14, then he sees the dead hellhounds to the lower left, but he also sees a couple small containers of paint set aside from Auntie Warmheart's wheelchair. And so Toot Toot then walks close to those paints and grabs them, grabs a couple colors, and proceeds to fling them around the room. So that will be dexterity. Let's see, acrobatics or athletics? Athletics. Just to fling them around like track and field where you have the ball, not the javelin, but the ball and chain thingy. Shot put. There it is. So he will roll a +3 athletics to this. 14 plus 3 athletics. That is a 17. So he takes, he walks over to the wheelchair. He doesn't see any movement. And he actually looks at the seat itself and can tell that it's not like weighed down. The material doesn't have weight on it. So he grabs some of the paint and then splatters in a clockwise movement around the room. Then some green paint lands on... Interesting. Splashes onto this almost withered, gnarled tree in front of the easel. Then there is some paint that splatters onto the easel, and then Chainco hiding in the corner, then across the wall, and then onto Onyx, and then drizzles down onto the Hellhound. So, do ta pa ta da pow. Okay. So the first creature that the paint hits is a shriveled and worn form, her dark green skin covered in bark and fungus. You just see like paint splatter, and then like half of this form is now visible. You can see this bark-like texture as the paint is dripping down materialize, and almost like an elongated tree face is like cowering, sitting down with her back up against the wall, and is kind of scooting her way to the wall, backwards to the wall. Yes. That's very good. And you can see some of the paint splashed into like this empty eye socket and is dripping down. And some paint splashed up against like the inside of some wooden arms. And that's all we see with that. Then, Toot Toot checked. He doesn't have enough time in his turn to say anything. So it'll be next for Auntie Warmheart. Oh, okay, that's great. So she splashes and then recognizes instantly the smell of the paint on her. And then she drops her Where's all that? Oh, it's... There we go. She drops her invisible passage. And, yeah, we truly see a... shriveled and worn, her dark green skin covered in bark and fungus, blank, hollowed out eye sockets, and from that, then an insect pops out and crawls across her face and then goes in the other eye socket. She has a thick braid of white hair, and it's like a really thick dreadlock that curls around her shoulders like a serpent. Yeah, it's kind of like this pathetic, withered treant, kind of. And she's there and just kind of recoiling blindly from having paint splashed on her. And she directs her head towards the large mass that she can feel in the air of Toot Toot and goes,
Okay, so you have me. I can help you out. If you help me out. I heard you down Peggy Pig Knuckle, thank goodness. Morgana, Dread Morgan, ran away and is up the stairs in our lair. But if you help defeat her, then I can help you.
And with that, she will roll a charisma check, persuasion, to my boys. So,
Woo!
persuasion. Okay. 18! Oh, plus 4! 18 plus 4, 22. Then Onyx and Toot Toot will roll against that. Insight. Oh, God. Okay. Onyx rolled a 2 plus 2, 4. And then Toot Toot rolled an 8 plus 3, 11. Wow. Great. So, Toot Toot holding, I'll have this little interaction. Holding one of the paint cans, places it down, and notices this pathetic, pitiful form cowering in the corner, with lame legs and blind, and Toot Toot will... Okay. If we get rid of Morgana, do you call her Dread Morgan? If we help get rid of her, then how will you help us?
I will give you 2 gifts each. You and the strong one who took care of that awful hellhound that I didn't know that my poor Bruno was cursed too. The other women must have done that.
Well, I honestly don't want your gifts, but we will talk conditions. So we will get rid of Dread Morgan. What happened? Did they take over you?
Yes.
They forced me to help them do awful things, like to Chainco. And then she gestures to her left, and then Chainco, yes, they were doing awful things to me, he says questioningly. And then Toot Toot, all right, well, we will help you however we can, all right? And then Auntie Worm, our heart, ends her turn with,
Yes, thank you.
And then spilling from her mouth like a cascade comes cockroaches and maggots and just a whole bunch of insects that just squirm and scatter and make a mess of her wooden bark-like front and just skitter and scatter away, and some drip down. And Toot, oh, and Onyx, oh, and Shaneco, oh boy. And that is their turn. Tipsy, upstairs, will see that Wishes had just turned one of the other wing statues into just a tiny little worm. And Tipsy will go,
Okay.
and then he will crawl forward very quietly, 1, 2 spaces, and then goes, like, turns around to Wishes, Wishes is now visible. Yeah, he would have had to have dropped his invisibility, which dropped the illusionary major image rock downstairs as he polymorphed this statue into a little tiny worm. And so Tipsy sneaks out there and then turns around to Wishes.
Do I attack it or something?
And then Wishes, like, kind of flying, because Wishes is just a normal dragon. Let me check. Wishes is a normal dragon. Yes, he has butterfly wings, but he has 4 legs and 2 wings. So Wishes flapping goes, wow, and then kind of gestures with his 2 front legs in the air like something small, and then exploding out big. And Tipsy's like,
Oh, okay. So I won't do something to it. Okay. Good to know.
and then he notices this door leading to another room behind him, and from his vantage point he can see the spiral stairs which led from downstairs also lead upstairs. And Tipsy goes,
Oh, should I go upstairs or should I try and sneak around? You know what? Wishes, are you gonna do something with this?
and then he points to the worm on the ground, and Wishes like flaps and then like licks his snout.
Okay, so you're gonna take care of that. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. I have 25 feet of movement. 35, right? Because I'm super quick with my manual of quickness of action. So 1, 2, 15, 20.
And then he notices a door by Wishes, and then, ooh. Okay. So the door is right next to Wishes, so Tipsy doesn't want to endanger him. So Tipsy will... Hiding is an action, and then summoning the Mage Hand is an action, which... When I was thinking about it this week, I didn't recognize that. So Tipsy will... Okay. Tipsy will hide... Let's see, what's in here again? In here is 3 tables, one of which is covered in it with various vegetables and strange-looking cuts of meat. A wood stove burns brightly against the far wall. Okay. Far wall. Oh, so he's right by one of the... he's right by the stove. I think that's one of the stuff. So he will actually hide underneath this table, kind of walk towards Wishes.
Okay, so yeah, you take care of that, and then I'll just hide under here.
And then he crawls under the table, and then he will summon an invisible Mage Hand Legerdemain in front of him. And he's got just holding it with his 2 hands as he squats underneath the table.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm gonna... Psst, Wishes, if you do something, then I'm gonna open one of the doors. But so if you go and take care of the worm, then I'll open that door that's right behind you.
And then Wishes... just flying in the air because it's not his turn yet. So that's Tipsy. Morgana is upstairs. Saith is upstairs, but we don't see... Like, they both went up the stairs, but we don't see them in T16, the kitchen, right now. So they're doing something somewhere. And then Auntie Warmheart dropped her invisible passage, so we see her. Onyx's turn. Onyx will... Onyx, who rolled a very low insight against the persuasion of Auntie Warmheart, will huff in recognition. Okay. And then grab the... just reach down and grab the scruff of the Hellhound's neck, and he will drag it backwards through the doorway. How many? Okay. 1, 2, 3. He will chuck the Hellhound on top of Peggy Pigknuckles' body, which is so ceremonious. Bump. Let's actually put it on top, because I can do that with layer effects. Dunk. And then see Rock there and go, all right, we're going up to take care of the other one. And then he will, let's see, that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he is going up the stairs now. Chainco is still cowering in the corner. He can see underneath the easel Auntie Warmheart, but not the sweet elvish lady that he saw earlier. But this is interesting. He saw all 3 women in their transformed state. So Peggy was transforming as she left this studio. Morgana elongated. Well, no, blinked into... No. Yeah, no. I think she cast slow before she left the studio. Yeah, so she blinked into existence and then elongated into like the lupine form and then bound out of the studio. And then this withered forest creature kind of crumpled pathetically in front of him and sees Toot Toot confidently towering over her. And then what would Chaincode do? He will get up. So that's half his movement to stand up. He has 25 feet because he's a dwarf. So emerging from this corner, 1, 2, 3, and then look up at Toot Toot. You are gonna take care of this, right? I'm gonna go find Circumstance, because I don't want him... I want to check on him. He got the procedure before me. And then Toot Toot looks down. All right, I will join you all soon. 3, 4, 5, and Chainco is heading towards the door. Rock's turn. Rock felt this energy wave coming from the studio before he saw this tall, lanky, stretched out figure crawling on all fours towards the staircase, pushing Tipsy aside and then climbing up. So Rock is going to do an Arcana check, which is +6, which is great. 4 + 6, so a 10. He doesn't know what happened, but he feels lethargic, and tries to shake it off, but his mind really isn't working. His normally super sharp and clear mind is like, he feels it's working half speed, and as he's trying to recall all the spells that he could do, he only has a few spell slots left, but of the spells that he could use right now, like, he's having a hard time remembering them. And like, as he's thinking about one, then the harder he thinks, then the more it blurs in his mind, and he can't really figure it out. So he sees Onyx he sees Onyx dragging a hellhound in, this giant ferocious black larger dog than life, and throws it onto this corpse pile, and then just trudge up, and then Rock, knowing that he still needs to stay back because he only has 4 health and not relentless endurance, then he will go, I will do an Onyx thing, Onyx way right now. And then he reaches behind him and then pulls out of his inventory a crossbow, which actually Onyx has been trying to let Rock have a weapon, like in the Kenku warehouse, and he tried to give him a couple weapons, and then Rock reluctantly accepted a light crossbow. So he pulls that out, and then he can just see the simple mechanics of pull string back, put in bolt, shoot. So that's 3 steps instead of trying to figure out the wording and the components, the verbal, somatic, or material, or the casting time, or the duration, or the school of magic of any of the spells that he knows. So he pulls out his crossbow, his light crossbow, and then he will step carefully around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he's going up the stairs too. So let's transplant them to stairs. Yeah, and then we'll say that they're just kind of halfway up. Cool. Yeah, that's Rock. Then the statue worm, the stony segmented worm, like you can hear, like as it's wriggling around on the ground. This worm made out of stone, and it has like 5 feet of movement, so it will angrily wiggle its way towards Wishes. And that is the statue's worm's turn. Wishes, meanwhile, will swoop down, grab the worm gently in his mouth, and then let's move that worm. Let's move that worm on top of Wishes. So Wishes and the worm, which sounds like a great kid's book. Wishes with the worm flies over to the window and spends a second like clawing at the latch of the window, and then manages to open it. And what's all that speed? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 25. Wishes has a flying speed of 60. So that is 12. So then Wishes, I'll make this a low DC, but Wishes will claw at the window with a natural 1. Then he's just just clawing at the window and can't get it open. So polymorph lasts one minute or 1 hour, because that's kind of important. If it's 1 minute, then we have to put him on a counter. But if it's 1 hour, which I believe it is, then he has all the time in the world. Polymorph, concentration up to 1 hour. Perfect. I like how he rolled a natural 1. That's great storytelling. Okay. Wishes Glimmer's turn. Move the chain. That's it. Toot toot. We'll go. What will Toot Toot do? All right, Toot Toot will step towards Chenko, who's exiting the art studio, and he goes, Chenko, actually, may I have a word? And then Chenko kind of looks scared up to. You can see Chainko's very vulnerable right now. All he has is a bathrobe, and he doesn't. Oh no, Chainko can go and pick up the wig and the fake beard that was next to a chair. Let's actually draw the chair, because I drew chairs earlier, but there was a chair here that Chainko is sitting in. So, Toot Toot walks up to Chainko. Chainko, actually, if I may have a word. And then this scared bald dwarf holding two furry bundles in his hands looks up. So we are going to help take care of one of these awful women, and this poor one here, she looks very vulnerable. If you could, please, I know this is asking a lot, if you could stay here and keep an eye on her. I just want her to be safe, because it looks like the other two forced her into this position. If you could help her, that would be tremendous, and then we will help you and find circumstance. Actually, we four, Victorious is our adventuring party. We have been trying to find circumstance for the past couple episodes, so really, we will find circumstance. I promise. So we will help you and circumstance. Which is another persuasion roll. Toot Toot has a very good persuasion. So here we go. 13 plus 8 with a 21 against Chainko's is 3. So yeah, 3 plus, let's see, 4 insight. Yeah, so 7. Then Chainko. All right, I can do that. I will do that. And then you can tell that Chainko is leaning on his 5x5 square, like towards the backest wall, the corner where Morgana was, but is no longer. So he is kind of right there. And Toot Toot, thank you. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's going up the stairs too. Yes. Everyone's going up the stairs now. Great. I didn't think that far ahead in my planning, so that's wonderful. Toot Toot, Auntie Warmheart. Now that all of my main characters are out of the room, then... Oh, boy. She will do something. I love narrative, y'all. Like, to let things just happen. We had a viewer a couple episodes ago asking about playing D&D with yourself. And they were like, oh, so I could just do whatever I want? And I'm like, yeah, but if your characters say and do stuff that you didn't expect, it's much more fun to let that happen and let them derail you. Because I was looking at my notes, and the Castle Lantern and Grolhan party, that was 3 pages that I haven't touched since episode 35, Paper Bird. Or 36? No, 35. Yes. 35. But something just happened, and it's not what I planned, but this works out great. So, all right. That stinks. Oh, also, because Rock had something happen to him, then he only can move half movement, because I forgot about that. So let's call that 15. So he was here. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So he's starting to head towards the door, but like his mind is still swimming, and he's just loading his crossbow, and like his legs are weak, and yeah. So there we go. Auntie Warmheart. She needs to roll now. Okay. So... Let's just do C next to her name. So Tipsy upstairs with his okay, he's crouching underneath the table and he has an invisible hand in his two hands, which we can see because, you know, it's the opacity is taken down to 10, so we can still see it, 10%. And so Tipsy's holding it and then looking at the door that Wishes was right in front of, looking at the other door, and then looking at the window that Wishes is. And then he can hear footsteps coming up the stairs, but because of his position right now, he can't tell that it's Onyx and Tutu being followed by Rock. So he, oh shit. And so he lets go of his mage hand, which flies across the room and then kind of shoves into Wishes, and Wishes like screeches a little bit and then like clamps down on the worm again, like because the mouth opened up and so the worm was wiggling in the air, and so then Wishes and like a cartoon character that just ran off of a cliff. So then the invisible mage hand would grab toward the latch and wrench open the window, and now Wishes. Ow! Hello. And now Wishes and the worm can like be at the window ledge, ready to take off. So, Tipsy can use an action to control. Oh no, he can use a bonus action to control the mage hand. He can use an action to summon the mage hand, but he can use a bonus action because of something that Tipsy fucking has. Yeah, cunning action, he can use his bonus action to control the mage hand. So he still has his action. So with that, then he will, let's see. Will he do the left or the right? Yeah, might as well roll for it, huh? Left is evens, right is odd. 14, even, so the left one. Then, after that, the shortest distance, then Tipsy will use his mage hand to zoom it over to the here's what happened. So this whole time Tipsy was underneath the table, and then this would probably be a good idea. And then he puts like a thieves tool in the pinky, in the webbing between the right hand and the pinky of the ring finger and the pinky, and then a thieves tool just flew over and then unlatched the window, and then the thieves tool then flies over to the door on the left. So Wishes just saw a thieves tool fly at him and then open the latch, but the thieves tool wasn't used to open the latch, it's just in the hand, so it didn't. So the mage hand then flies over to the left door, and with the thieves tool then it will attempt to pick that lock. So, well, yeah. So, sleight of hand plus 7, a 16 plus 7, then easily the mage hand twists in the air and, like, using this backwards grip, unlocks the door on the left and then swings it inward. So, I can do this. Pop. So we can see inside the door. But from Tipsy's point of view, we can see this now. There we go. So, not a whole lot. Okay. Good. Come on now. Don't be difficult. Cool. So that's Tipsy's turn. Back to the top of the order. Morgana's doing something. Saith is doing something. Onyx will come up the stairs. 1, 2, 3. And then he will notice... Oh, interesting. because this is all very bullet time and slow-mo, as multiple things should happen in the same couple seconds, then as he reaches up the stairs, then he sees a door swing open. Onyx doesn't register that it was on its own accord, so then Onyx will go towards the movement. He sees, and he also sees Wishes at a window ledge trying to escape, so that must mean that something bad is happening inside the door. Oh! Love it! So, with the movement, then he 1, 2, 3, 4 goes in the door, and then 5 into this room. With, of course, his ice anchor prepped and stuff. So, bop! This is what we see. What the heck is this? I don't know. This is so good. I love going into a new room, and this is scary. So, piles of straw and moth-eaten blankets have been set up in this area as rough beds, and broken furniture and garbage is scattered around. In contrast to the living squalor, many fine paintings hang along the curved outer wall, each one a hauntingly beautiful but also strangely unnerving to look at. So, oh boy, okay, hold on. Oh. Wow. Okay. So, many paintings, so kind of double layered and scattered, catty corner. Yeah. The inner collection of the room is hay and dirty sleeping blankets, but on the outside, I want to do a lot more of these. So, there's just, in 2 rows all across the inner curved wall, there's like 30 to 50 paintings, and each one is beautifully painted with depictions of battle or like just heroic and triumphant vignettes of various people. And there's even more paintings yet to be hung up. And they're like a dozen deep, just on the ground, leaning up against the wall, yet to be placed in here. Eep. And then one more, and then I will move on. No, come on. Then one more, and then I will move on. Where did that one go? Oh, boy. Okay. Duplicate layer would be easier. Okay. So, that's on the ground and on the walls. What's in front of Onyx is Saith, this tall, demonic, red, beefy figure who is kind of hunched over a little bit and like is wincing in pain from the various attacks that he endured on his way up, and he's panting and out of breath, and you can see his wings behind his demon wings behind him kind of following his breath, and Saith is holding in front of him, tight gripped, bop, circumstance. And Circumstance is a handsome elf and is just pinned to, like, in the grasp of Saith the Cambion, and he's holding and Saith is holding like a big old knife to one side.
Don't come any closer, or he gets it. Do you understand?
And Onyx just walked into this room. Circumstance is number 14. That's what I rolled for earlier. Doop. Here, let me do this instead. I'm getting my graphics right. Yep. There we go. So, saith. Onyx just walked into the room with how much movement? 1, 2, 3, 4. He has 2 more. Oh boy, he has 2 more squares to go. It's 2 squares to get up to Saith, but Onyx can tell that Saith is readied his action, which is a game mechanic where if you're waiting for a specific trigger, then you can hold an action to wait until that trigger comes around, and then you can react. So Onyx is noticing that really big, that's not a knife, that's a knife, in his hand, like this really large hunter's knife up against, well, near Circumstance's vitals. And Onyx is going through his head right now. Oh, that's a good one. Onyx is going through his head right now. His ice anchor is melee. All of his favorite weapons are melee. So his hand axes, he could use a javelin, but he needs to get the javelin from his backpack. So really the only thing that won't endanger him right now is or he could hold an action also. No, I think he's going to do this. Onyx will see Saith holding Circumstance hostage, and then he will pick up his ice anchor, and then just cuz he'll cock the neck of it, which sounds really bad. Is it the neck? I printed it out. The shank. He cocks the shank, which still sounds very bad. But with that, then the ice that's perpetually around the ice anchor then like forms up Onyx's hands and arms, and then there's this protective layer outside of Onyx right now because he used his Armor of Agathis. So he summoned it once per long rest. Is he still in rage? He did not attack anything last time. That's the thing. So now his rage has dropped. Which means that I think he gets a level of exhaustion now, too. Boy, howdy. I don't think that's happened. Where is it? Where? It normally says. Okay, excuse me. Normally it says like if you lose rage, then you become really tired. What? I thought it was a thing, but apparently not. Oh, hey. Well, it is a thing, but I can't find it worded right now, so I'll keep playing. So he does have one more range in the chamber, but he can't use it right now. So that's Onyx. He triggered Armor of Agathis. Chainco will just cower in the corner. Yeah, let's move this a little bit. It doesn't matter. Chainco. Circumstance. All right, so back to Circumstance. Then Circumstance is like pinned up against Saeth's very large chest and notices as Onyx comes into the room, and Circumstance is staring at Onyx, and he goes,
You know what? I'm glad I didn't tip you.
and then one of Circumstance's eyes darts directly to the left and like grows out of his head and stares up. No. Darts to the right, pokes out of his head, and then looks up at Saeth, which catches Saeth off guard. Huh? And then the other eye is looking Onyx up and down. So the two eyes are working independently, and you hear a clack, 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 a clacking noise as Circumstance all around him, as if the numbers and times at train stations, old-fashioned train stations, the clack, 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 clack. So these little tiles cascade all around, up and down Circumstance, and these chromatic scales readjust, and the handsome elf that was before you is now this hunched over reptilian lizard folk creature. And you can see Saeth's arm around Circumstance's neck like loosen in surprise, and Circumstance like turns around and tries to bite at Saeth's neck. Yes, that's very good. So he has multi-attack. He can make 2 melee attacks. One can be a bite, and then one can be Hungry Jaws. Okay, so bite attack is just normal-ass bite attack. But Hungry Jaws, in battle, you can throw yourself into a vicious feeding frenzy. As a bonus action, you can make a special attack with your bite. If the bite hits, it does normal damage, and you gain temporary hit points, minimum of 1, equal to your Constitution modifier, and you can't use this trait until you finish a short rest or long rest. Yeah, why not? Great tile imagery from Circumstance. Yay, thank you. All right, that's an 18! Hot dog! So that's an 18 plus the 4 modifier for the first bite. Wow, that's awesome. So it's 1d6 plus 2, which is a 6! Holy cow! So that's 8 for the first bite. So yeah, you see this lizard folk noble jerk around and then bite and tear into Saeth's neck and like bring up a mouthful of flesh, and dark red flesh, and blood is starting to out of Saeth's neck. And then he will go for another bite. A 17! Woo! A 17 plus 4, which still hits because the Cambion, Saeth the Cambion, had a 19 armor class, but I said that he didn't have his armor on, so I rolled a d4 to see how much armor was taking off, and only 1 point. So he has an AC of 18. Hot dog! It hits again. Great. And then 1 plus 2, that's 3, which is still awesome. And, oh, wow. But with Hungry Jaws, you gain temporary hit points equal to your Constitution modifier. With one of them, Constitution modifier is 2. So, Circumstance gains 2 points. Circumstance. Plus 2. Oh, well, temporary hit points. Oh, great. Yeah, okay. So, that was marvelous. So, Circumstance digs his teeth in again and then tear and gets another mouthful of dark red flesh and then tears it out. And then you can hear just gasps and leaking coughs and just this guttural gurgling from Saeth, which is just delicious. And let's do it, because why the heck not? Realistically. Oh, baby. That's a 3 and a 4. That's 7. So, with that also, you can see as Circumstance tears flesh out of this throat that his teeth are like, have these holes at the tips of them. And as dark red flesh and thick blood is splattered into the air, then you see also this noxious green, almost ink, also like this noxious bright green neon, like being torn and mixed in with the blood and drizzling down Saeth's neck. Oh wow, awesome. So that's Circumstance's very badass turn. Rock's turn. Rock will do 15 feet of movement. 1, 2, and I will say he's up the stairs because I don't want him to go a third time. Like, I don't want him to move a third time trying to go upstairs. Oh! Shit! I forgot something. It's a good thing I remember now, though. Wisdom saving throw against the spell save DC. Wisdom saving throw against the spell save DC of, I think it's just 12. Yep. All right. 10 plus 2. And then 18. Okay, so at the end of Rock's turn, then Rock, as he's moving slowly and frustratedly towards the stairs, then as he finishes loading his crossbow, then his mind clears up. And he can feel the rest of the world catch up to him for speed. And so the slow effect that Morgana cast towards 6 creatures faded on Rock. So that happens, and so Rock has a full turn this time. However, at the end of her turn, Auntie Warmheart also saved with a 10 plus 2, which is a 12, for wisdom saving throw against the spell save DC of 12 for the ladies, against Morgana's spell. So as he is moving with his light crossbow towards the stairs, then he hears this big clap of thunder from the other room. Yeah, it's not great. From the art studio, where Chainco and Auntie Warmheart are. 10 plus. What is it? Oh. Well, hold on. Wow. Okay. So yeah, 10 plus 4. That hits. And then she will roll damage. Oof. Okay. All right, yeah, you hear a "oh-cha-cha-cha-cow" from the next room, and like this very real crackling of energy. And Rock, can see through the door, so he sees Chainco rooted to the spot with this black lightning bolt burning a hole through his chest, and it's sustained and crackling and like this arc in midair as it's just burrowing, drilling this dark black hole into Chainco's chest, and the breath leaves Chainco. Yeah, this very black lightning bolt in stark contrast to the white bathrobe and the pale skin of this hairless dwarf. And Rock doesn't need to roll intelligence or arcana for this because Rock knows, because he cast this once or twice. This is Witch Bolt. And he sees Chainco crumble to the floor, the second smoking figure in this corner, and Rock will Rock will 1, 2 towards the doorway. He sees this woodland form who almost looks like Spanish mustache, but splattered in this green paint, bark and flesh, dead, hollow eyes, very much Emperor Palpatine crumbled in Revenge of the Sith on the ground, with this sustained witch bolt crackling. Ah! Oh, okay. Great. Whoo, doggy. So, yeah, Rock can see this witch bolt crackling from her hands, and she's no, she's giggling, this zebra chortle from her corner, and Rock, I'll give him some cool thinking points. Think, Rock, think! Quickly, my man. With a natural 20, then yeah, he can see the Hellhound. He knows the Hellhound was dragged out behind him. He can put 2 and 2 together that was the Mastiff. He can see the empty wheelchair next to the crumpled up form of Auntie Warmheart. And with a natural 20, something gotta be good, huh? Something gotta be good. What can Rock do with a natural 20? He has a loaded crossbow. He has a loaded crossbow. But magic is more fun for Rock, the purple, the half-orc wizard. He could do that. Nope. He's going to do this instead. Wow. All right. So, All right. With a natural 20, I will do this. Okay, with a natural 20, I will give Auntie Warmheart a disadvantage for the following. Rock, regaining his consciousness, looks down at his light crossbow that he has armed in his hand and goes, "Oh, well, no, that's such a barbaric thing. That's such a barbaric thing to do. I don't want to." Oh, shoot the arrow, says Angelito Awafo. This is more fun. He looks down. Oh, that's barbaric. And so then he kind of hooks the loaded light crossbow. Hope I remember that. On his belt, pointing down, and then he will twist his hand in the air, and only in Auntie Warmheart's... Oh! Wow! Great. In Auntie Warmheart's mind, then she sees this giant hulking figure of the bestial Peggy Pigknuckle, hunched over, red fur cascading down her like arms and her back, and just growling. And the thing is, Auntie Warmheart is blind, but with phantasmal force that Rock is using, then you craft an illusion that takes root in the mind of a creature that you see within range. So, in her mind, she has experienced a world full of black. She has adapted her other sensations, her other senses, to make up for her lack of seeing. She can smell better, heal better. Right now, she is hearing the crackle of the witch bolt connecting with the downed body of Chainco, who she can only imagine is as ugly as he is stupid for falling for this. She can feel the heat splashing back from the witch's bolt. She, in all of this sensations, doesn't notice a figure enter in the doorway and then cast this. In her world of black that she's only experienced, she sees the first face she's ever seen, this lantern jaw, fangs coming out, drooling red monster appear in her vision for the first time ever. And that is terrifying, her having never seen anything ever. So she would normally make an intelligence saving throw. However, Rock rolled a natural 20, and her not seeing anything ever and then seeing the monstrous form of Peggy Pigknuckle for the first time, I will give her double disadvantage. That's right. Rarely seen on any D&D show is double disadvantage. So here we go. This is beautiful. What is her intelligence saving throw? I hope it's not great. Intelligence. It's a +1. That's a 19 +1, and unnatural 20. That's a 6 +1. That's a 7, and that's a 10 +1, 11. So, Rock's spell save DC is definitely more than 7, but I want to see. It's 14. Great. So 2 out of her 3 double dog disadvantage. Yes, Stody or something in the chat. So 2 out of her 3 saves failed. So she lets out her zebra giggle turns into this horrified scream. This unearthly. It's like a tree being ripped out of the ground. It's this heartbreaking scream coming out of Auntie Warmheart, and that's going to be a lot of damage. So normally it's 1d6 damage, but because she failed 2 out of 3 times, then I'm going to make it 3d6 damage, because I like awarding real cool shit. So here we go. That's a 5 and a 2. That's 7. And then 4 So 11 altogether. Not great, but still really cool. And she is screaming and horrified. With that, I will also say instantly that the Witch Bolt, which is a concentration spell, which would have continued hitting the body of Chenko, just fizzles out. Wow, that's great. I love it. So that's Rock. Rock used Phantasmal Force, which he has one spell left. Amazing. That was awesome. That was really, really cool. And I think he could just, each round on your turn, you can continue doing that damage. Wow. That's great. So that was Rock. The statue worm upstairs just continues to trying to wriggle out of Wish's mouth, but a worm has like -10 strength. So I'm going to just roll for it to see if something awful happens. I'm going to, 12. Nah. It needed like a 20 to do anything worthwhile. So that worm statue doing that. And then Wishes, with that, like, feels the worm struggle in his mouth, and then Wishes, and then launches out the window and then flies straight upwards. Does a dash, which is double the speed. So the flying speed now Wishes, in addition to the 20 feet off of the ground that they already are, being on the second story, then that's another 120 feet. So that's 140 feet in the air. And Wishes just going up into the night sky. That's Wishes. Then Glimmer. Move the chain, move. And then Toot Toot going upstairs. Heard commotion and voices coming from the amazing. Coming from this room. So he goes up because he see Onyx duck into it. And so then he goes in. So 1, 2, 3. And then sees Saeth struggling with this reptilian form with green and orange and yellow and red scales mixed in, just attacking into Saeth's neck. And Toot Toot will here's the thing. As soon as Toot Toot walks into this room and sees this horrifying visage, then and the paintings all around, then he remembers what Rock told the group of what Circumstance really looks like. So as jarring as it is to see this reptilian form tearing the flesh out of the Cambion, then Toot Toot recognizes that this is Circumstance's real form, and he's reflecting on how this is Circumstance's real form and Saeth's real form as a Cambion, and the three ladies of the Restful Lily have their true forms. So Toot Toot will sing Bardic Inspiration of Killer, 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 killer chameleon. You come and go, you come and go. And that's a Bardic Inspiration, which is a bonus action. But he sees that Circumstance is doing a heck of a job, so he's not going to interfere. I can't believe I did that. Am I proud of it? A little bit. Auntie Warmheart will do. Does she try and roll after her turn. Maybe, but also she's blind and never saw anything. You've waited your whole life for that Killer Chameleon song, haven't you? Kind of. Here's the thing. The target can use its action to examine the phantasm with an intelligence investigation check against your spell save DC. However, Auntie Warmharm's never seen anything before, so she wouldn't know. I would say she instead gets the frightened condition. Frightened, a frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of its fear is within line of sight. The Peggy Pigknuckle is in her mind, so it is her whole sight. The creature can't willingly move closer to the source of its fear. So she's mentally crippled right now. She can't do a whole lot. I will give her disadvantage on an investigation check, which is more than generous. Yeah, she can't do a whole lot right now. Okay, what's investigation? That's intelligence, huh? Okay, well, +1. That's a 10, which is an 11 against Rock's 14. And then a 2. I feel that 2 is narratively exactly, 2 + 1, so she's still screaming. She's losing her breath screaming so hard with this horrible, yeah. And then she just scoots backwards, trying to get away from this creature, and knocks into the easel and then knocks it over, and then she's just kind of scooting backwards, and then hits this corner that Chainco was up against, and is just breathlessly now, like, screaming endlessly. So now it's Tipsy's turn. Tipsy upstairs will see 2 of his comrades go into the room, and so then he will come out of hiding. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he will just hide behind Toot Toot. He will roll to see if he can hide behind Toot Toot. Yes, we talked about this earlier, where halflings are smaller than gnomes and can hide behind a large creature, or a medium or large creature. However, Toot Toot is 7'3". Tipsy is in a doorway. Tipsy is 2'10". I will say that he can try to hide behind Toot Toot right now. That's a 12. Plus Tipsy's stealth, which is 10. So that's 22. Yeah, Tipsy is hidden right now, behind Toot Toot. Look, he might be so hidden that I can't even see him. So that's fun. Tipsy will also, he will, well, can he just have the mage hand up and not really use it? Yeah, I think so. It doesn't cost anything. So he will ready his, can he use his bonus action to hide? Bonus action, cunning action, which, to hide, yeah, he will use his cunning action to hide, and he will ready his magically automatic throwing knife to hit the chaos that's happening if Saeth is done. Yeah, so he is readying an action. Okay, that's Tipsy. Up to the top, Morgana. All right, next is Saeth, who is down to his last couple HP, is having his throat torn out. He's gurgling. Oh, here's a beautiful thing that I didn't even think about. All right. At death's door, Cambion can try and do something. However, wow, I didn't even think about this. Wow. This is awesome. Okay, so Cambion, saith, fully releasing his grasp on Circumstance, who's now this animal attacking him, then knowing full well that if Saith steps back, then that'll give Circumstance another opportunity at his throat. So he will think of his hellish plane that he came from. Demonic or devil, I don't really know the difference. But he will then... And he will try. Oh, wow. Cambions have innate spellcasting, where they know 4 different spells. Out of his highest level spell that he can do just once a day, just for himself, he can do a 7th level conjuration, which is called Plane Shift, where he can take an action to instantaneously go back to a different plane of existence. So Cambions are from the Hell plane with the demons and the devils. But one of the components is somatic, which is gestures, which I never ever remember. Material, a forked metal rod worth at least 250 gold pieces attuned to a particular plane of existence. And then a V, which is verbal. And because he had 2 awful gougings of his throat, then I will say with that went his voice box, his vocal cords, which are now caught in the teeth of this reptile. So Saith cannot use Plane Shift to bamf out of there. Wow. That's so fucking cool. And with this... Oh, boy. And then I look down at his character sheet, and he has something else cool, which is called Fiendish Charm. I'll do it, because... wow. I'll try it. Yeah, so... Circumstance, what is your wisdom saving throw? Wisdom +1. With a natural 20, Circumstance succeeds on this wisdom saving throw. So Cambion, so saith, like wincing in pain, crying, stares, locks his eyes onto... Oh, that's part of it! Tries to lock his eyes onto Circumstance, but the eyes keep like twitching everywhere, like looking, saith up and down, and then looking behind him at Onyx and Toot Toot, and then staring all across at all of the paintings. And he fails to connect eye contact to do Fiendish Charm, which is one humanoid the Cambion can see within 30 feet of it must succeed on a DC 14 wisdom saving throw. He got a natural 20, so he totally does it. Or be magically charmed for 1 day. The charmed target obeys the Cambion's spoken commands. So even if it worked, which it didn't, then it super doesn't work. So saith, you can see defeat starting to like drip down his face as it gets a paler shade of red. Amazing. So he will... That was his action to try and cast Fiendish Charm, which didn't work. And now, on his own terms, then Saith will step back, which then will trigger Circumstance's opportunity attack to another bite. So, with that natural 20, I will let Circumstance roll with advantage. That's a 17, which plus that 4. And then we can only see Circumstance's back as his head perfectly blocks the carnage and Saith falling limp on the ground. So Saith. No, I have to do this button. He's dead. And the paintings near him up against that wall, like arterial spray. As Circumstances now hunched over the form, and you see the panting lizard form. That was amazing. Wow, so much stuff has happened so far, y'all. And it's 8:30, which is my normal intermission time. So I'm going to use the restroom because I probably should. As I'm growing old, then I know never to pass up an opportunity to use the restroom. So let's listen to the let's review. So I'm gonna play Rock's intermission again from last week because I didn't have time or energy to make new intermissions this week because I'm trying to make money. But yeah, here's Rock's intermission, and I will be back in 2 minutes. Bye.
And 3, 2, 1. Hello, I'm Rock the Half-Orc Wizard, and I wanted to explain to you something that I found on the internet, so thank you, BONADZZ. This is the explanation of the 8 schools of magic. So, illusion, you make someone look like a frog. Transmutation, you turn someone into a frog. Enchantment, you make someone think they're a frog. Conjuration, you make a frog appear. Abjuration, you protect the frog. Evocation, you kill the frog. Necromancy, revived the dead frog. Divination, you know it was actually a toad and not a frog the whole time. So that is similar to the tomato theory for the 6 ability scores. So for strength, it's how hard you can throw a tomato. Dexterity, how quick you can duck a thrown tomato. Constitution, how well you can hold up eating a rotten tomato. Intelligence, knowing that a tomato is a fruit. Wisdom, knowing that a tomato does not belong in a fruit salad. And then charisma, how well you can sell a fruit salad with tomato in it. So those are the 8 schools of magic and then the 6 ability scores. Thank you very much. Bye.
Hi, I'm Victor Rivera. This is D&Me, where I play with myself. I play D&D with myself. This is an actual play show 5th edition where I DM and play 4 characters of campaigns past. Hi, I'm Tipsy the Forest Gnome Rogue. We stream Wednesday nights on Twitch, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we throw the video up on YouTube Thursday mornings. And I have a rat named Waddles. He's cute.
I'm Onyx the Dwarf Barbarian. We do other stuff.
I'm Rock the Half-Orc Wizard. We do D& Artistry and Art Stream on Tuesday nights, and D&Me'd Like to Drink one Monday a month, where we grab a glass of something good and chat about how D&Me's going, answering audience questions, but mostly going on tipsy tangents. That's me!
And I am Toot Toot the Loxodon Bard. If you want to catch up with the current campaign, listen to the first episodes in their edited podcast form, which you can find on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor.fm, and others. And if you want to catch up even quicker, watch D&Recaps, where we summarize 5 episodes of D&Me at a time. And we also have D&Me Extras, which are fun little behind-the-scene videos. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and a bunch of other places where? On our link tree, that's linktr.ee/DNMeAdventures and like gnome. Thanks!
We're so professional.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. Bop. All right, we're back. So that was Sayeth's turn. Onyx now, his turn. He and Toot Toot were both in the room where it happened, the room where it happened, the room where it happened, where Auntie Warmheart told them to get rid of Morgana. So he noticed that Sayeth, and he watched Circumstances' transformation. So notices that Sayeth is down dead on the ground and goes, okay, well, looks like he has it covered. And then Onyx will just leave one and then shove past Tipsy, who's hiding, and then go up the stairs to try and find Morgana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2. Go upstairs, where he is met with a door at the top of the stairs, which also yep, it's just a door. Just a closed door. Nothing bad. Oh, shush. Just an innocent closed door. Oh, Onyx. I love it, but you knuckin' idiot. All right. Onyx, that's his movement to go up the stairs. He sees a door. He will try and hit the door with his ice sinker. God damn it. Oh, wait. Would he try and go for the handle, or will he just smash it? Will he go for the handle, or will he just smash it? All right. This isn't good, y'all. Handle, smash. So, evens is handle because of the E at the end, and then odds is wood, which he will smash. 17. Okay, that's better. Still, I mean, that's the better of the two options. So he will smash the door with his ice anchor. So he will roll. He does not have rage anymore. You know what? He will use rage. Will he use his last rage? Because Morgana should be up here, because that's where the stairs end. Yeah, he will use his rage. Because he used the Armor of Agathist for the last bonus action, the last round. He will use his rage, which will give him advantage on athletics check to smash the door. Oh boy. Okay. Good. What is stats for the door? I did look this up earlier because I was interested. I was wondering if Tipsy could have picked that first lock in order to meet the three ladies, and sure enough, yeah. But the doors, otherwise noted, a locked door or a door can be broken in with a successful DC 15 strength athletics check or attacked. A door has a 15 armor class, 18 hit points, and an immunity to poison and psychic damage. And I wrote to the side, lol, that they even have to add that detail. But I don't want to worry about the hit points. But I will do the AC 15. And god damn it. What was it? It needs to be a 15 in order to hit? I just read it out loud. Okay, yeah, DC 15. Let's do it. He's real good at that, so. Onyx, athletics. While he's raging, advantage while raging athletics. Okay, great. A 9 plus a 6. There we go, 15. Let's see if he crits. Because why not? An 11 plus 6, 17. So with both, then he breaks open the door, and the door is there, broken open. And I guess, what can Onyx see? He can see this sliver of the third floor, which looks like crates or something. Not a whole lot to go off of. So that's Onyx. Onyx Chainco will roll a death saving throw. All right. So that is 1. Death saving throw. I won't tell you if he succeeded or failed. Because dramatic irony, baby. Chainco, circumstance, up here. And then towering, panting over the fallen form of Saith, then we see the shot from behind him, and one of his eyes whips around to stare at Toot Toot. And then circumstance slowly turns around and walks towards Toot Toot. One. Let's see. Okay, yeah. No, this is what it is. So, circumstances towering over the fallen... Circumstances hunched over, towering over the fallen form of Saith, and then one of the eyes whips over to Toot Toot behind him, and Circumstance says,
I know you want to take me back to Waterdeep, but I'm not leaving without my riches.
and then he slowly turns around, and the other eye whips over to Toot Toot. So, let's draw Circumstance right now, because now he's in his true lizard form. Yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, so now Circumstance turns around and he goes,
But I'm not leaving without my riches.
And then he steps forward, and one of the paintings to Saith's right, the painting directly behind Circumstance, with still glistening, wet, slightly drying oil paint, is Circumstance on a pile of gold. And the true chameleon form... Would it be the chameleon form? No, the handsome elf form is Scrooge McDucking in a pile of gold. And you see just this dragon's hoard behind him of jewels and this warehouse full of every imaginable gem and coin piece. And yeah, that's him right now. This is a kind of menacing scene, but he will try and convince Toot Toot that he's staying until he gets his riches. So yeah, the vignette is also this chameleon is now splattered and drenched his front with blood, which is very telling, with his handsome elf painting behind him full of riches, and then that is spattered with blood too. So that's some imagery and thematics, huh? He will do a persuasion check. +3 charisma. 17 +3, that's a 20 altogether. Toot Toot will roll insight. God damn it. Toot Toot rolled a 9 +3, a 12 insight. Tipsy rolled a 14 +2 insight, 16. Ugh! Auntie Warmheart and Chainco. Nope. Auntie Warmheart and Circumstance both are convincing my boys. So Toot Toot at the entrance goes, okay, we can wait overnight. I think it'll actually be really good for all of us to heal and get our spell slots back. But in the morning, I would like to take you and Chainco back to Waterdeep safely so that we can make sure you're good. And then that's it for Circumstance's turn. Rock will go over and try and stabilize Chainco as he's hearing Auntie Warmheart just perpetually screaming. Rock will roll, let's see, medicine. What are you good at, Rock? Arcana, nope. History, nope. Intimidation, nope. Investigation, nope. Medicine, you're good at nature. Religion, nature, survival. No, okay, so medicine and survival are both +1. So that's what he's going to roll. A 4 plus a 1. So he goes over and he sees the crumbled up form of Chainco. And there's still a moment here that Rock can try and save him. And then he stares down and he doesn't know what to do with like this smoking crater in the middle of this dwarf's hairless chest. So that was Rock's turn. Like, he bent over to try and help. Oh, Rock is no longer slowed also. Well, Auntie Wormheart is also no longer slowed. So I'll just do normal color for that. Bop. Cool. So this is no longer applicable, and slowed I can delete. Cool. Statue Worm. You can hear as Wishes dashes higher. So that's another 120 feet. So that's 260 feet in the air. Glimmer. Move the chain, move the chain, move, move, move. And Toot Toot. Toot Toot will take one step closer, and then I thought Rock sustained the spell against Auntie. Hey, yes! Excellent. Very good, Mom. Thank you for more damage. Yes! Thank you, Mom. You totally caught that. I did not. So, instead, Rock looks down at the crumpled form of Chainco and goes, I don't know what to do with that. And so then in his mind, he already worked out, okay, if I try and go down, then my medicine and my survival are just +1. I won't be able to fix him or anything. So then he looks over at Auntie Warmheart as he steps forward, and in Auntie Warmheart's mind, thank you, Mom. Thank you for catching that. Then Piggy Pigknuckle, this growling, bulking form, 10 feet tall and 10 feet wide, like rears back in agony and then morphs into this terrifying tall figures, like reaching with unnaturally long fingers and unnaturally long arms, pale moon blue with greasy black hair that's clinging to this monstrous face and this rail thin sickly body as it's reaching towards Auntie Wormheart for Dread Morgan's true form, reaching and just like clawing at this unseen blackscape. And so yeah, that'll be 3d6 more damage. Thank you for catching that, Mom. Great. So that's 4 and a 3, 7. And then one more. 4. Another 11. Awesome. So just the screams elevate more. Yeah, great. I love it. Then Toot Toot. Yeah, okay. Then Toot Toot's turn. Toot Toot steps forward. All right, yes, we will. Yes, we will wait for the morning, but could you help us get rid of this last individual, and then we can call it a night and all safely rest. As Toot Toot will try persuasion. It's the best thing. Yeah. All right. Yeah, he will roll persuasion for circumstance with a 5 plus 8. 13. Circumstance will roll insight back. Insight is wisdom. Plus 1. 19 plus 1, 20. Then Circumstance turns around and stares at his painting and goes,
No, I'm waiting here for my treasure. You go.
As Circumstance throws a dirty look over at Toot Toot, and Toot Toot, all right, well, blast. Just wait here. And then Toot Toot kind of hopelessly looks around the room at all of these lives changed drastically from these magical treatments. And all of these fates done and undone. And he will turn around and follow Onyx. 1, 2, bumping into Tipsy. And Tipsy's like, well, Tipsy can't really say anything. So Toot Toot goes, I don't know if you should stay here or come with us. So here we go. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then he will just come up as well. Because I'm not going to mess around with stairs. That's Toot Toot's turn. This might be another long episode, y'all. Auntie Warmheart. This C was for something. I don't remember what it was. Maybe it was concentration? I don't remember. So we're just going to delete that. But she is screaming and writhing around in terror. Then Tipsy sees that Circumstance is obsessively, like, staring at his painting, and, like, actually, she had an effect. She had an effect. What was that effect? I don't remember. Maybe frightened? Was it before the Phantom? Like, scared. Okay. Yeah, she's frightened. So I don't remember what that means. Let's look at conditions. Disadvantage on all ability checks and attack rolls. Okay, well. Okay, like scared. Cool, great. She's still scared. I don't need to have a C to remind myself of that. Tipsy noticing from the doorway, a hidden Tipsy noticing from the doorway, Circumstances staring up obsessively at his painting and actually, like, licking his thumb and trying to carefully wipe away Saith's blood, and, like, just in complete mesmerization is just staring up at his painting. Obsessed and addicted. So Tipsy can confidently go,
Okay, I think he's preoccupied.
and then, so then Tipsy will sneak up the stairs. 1, 2, 3. Joining the rest of the crew. And then Toot Toot tried to talk to Circumstance. So that's kind of his action. And then Tipsy, from this point, will, because he's still kind of hidden, but he will use perception to see more of this room. So let's roll for that. 5. 5 plus 8. 13. So we will just see this much. Not a lot more. So we see a bed and some maybe crates, but that's all. Oh, Onyx bust open the door. Let me read something real quick. Okay. With a perception of 13, which I think he rolled. Tipsy. Right? He rolled something like that. He rolled a 13. Then, in the doorway, like right inside the doorway, he can see on the other side of the door, right at the ground, with the 13, this faintly glowing ruin on the ground, this carved glyph into the floor right on the other side of the door. And Tipsy kind of waves up at Toot and Onyx and like points towards the slowly glowing symbol on the ground. Oh. Okay. Well, so that's his turn, but he still has the mage hand up. Yeah. He can't really do anything right now. He will wave to get Onyx and Toot's attention, then point to the glyph and like point back down the stairs. And that's all Tipsy's turn. Well, Tipsy, can you make one move? Whoa. Nuts. No. Okay. Come on. There we go. So Tipsy will then move back down, like halfway down the spiral staircase, waiting for Onyx and Toot to also go back down. Okay. Oh. With that also. Okay. That's Tipsy's turn. Morgana is perhaps on the third floor, but we can't see her right now. Saith is dead. Onyx will see what Tipsy was pointing at, and he will go, oh, Oh, yeah, okay. And then he will go downstairs and then kind of just hang out underneath with his ice anchor. He would peer into the room just to see circumstance like Onyx rage. Oh, Onyx does have rage. Onyx does have rage. He needs to attack a creature or get hit by something. Or else he'll lose his rage. Well, there's no one here, and that's a toughie. Toot Toot can slap him. I like it. Sure. Yeah, Onyx comes downstairs. He looks... Well, no, Onyx comes downstairs kind of mad that Tipsy is playing the safe card of, hey, we need to go downstairs because there's a glyph or something. And so Onyx also seeing that Tipsy has the magical automatic throwing knife, then Onyx is like... and then trying to slap the automatic throwing knife out of Tipsy's hand, then his palm goes right towards the dagger, and so then the dagger slices into his hand. I like it. 1d6 plus 4 piercing damage. But Tipsy's like, well, what are you doing now? And then Tipsy will do a dexterity saving throw to like try and lessen the damage. 9 plus 7, so 16. And then meeting Onyx's athletics. Yeah, 19. So he takes the full brunt of it. Although he does have resistance against piercing damage, so that's great while enraged. So, ooh, good. So he needs... Tipsy needs to roll a 1d6 plus 4 piercing damage. 1d6. Well, I didn't mean to roll it. 1! Woo! As low as he can go, baby. 1 plus 4 is 5. Divided by 2, rounded down, that's 2 points. So, Onyx, frustrated, kind of just slapped the dagger out of Tipsy's hand, and then Tipsy, hey, stop it! Oh! Well, I got you, but not that bad. Okay, well, Onyx. And Onyx is like, well, Tipsy. So, woo, good call, y'all. Y'all are, thank you for helping the game. Y'all are really sincerely helping the game because, yeah, this is a lot to balance, and y'all are helping. So, that's Onyx. Chainco rolls to see if he's dead. Okay. I won't tell y'all if that's a success or a failure. Janko, circumstance. Will continue cleaning his... Oh. Did I read? Oh, yeah, I read everything that's in this room. So, circumstance will keep staring at his painting. Rock will do more damage to Auntie Warmheart, and as she's writhing on the ground, then like okay, we'll see how much damage it does first. 2 and a 2, that's 4, and then another one, 3, 7. As the forms shift between that and... Okay, so the Dread Morgan form shifts into this decrepit, rotting wooden form of a tree person, and Rock is showing Auntie Warmheart her true self, because he imagines she's never seen a reflection, and that is the loudest scream yet. And Rock feels pretty bad torturing this woman, but also he knows that this hag has been torturing Chainco. Well, just killed Chainco, as far as he knows, and was doing bad things to AU. And with that, then the phantasmal force inside Auntie Warmheart's head strengthens and grows even more vicious, because Rock, having faced losing his intelligence once before with the intellect devourer staring down at him, then he has a growing hatred of Auntie Warmheart, beating down onto her. So the phantasmal force strengthens, and I will say that's another D6 with the hatred of what they did to AU. So that's a 6, which is great. So this is a little vicious, but that's Rock. The statue worm, as the wind rushes by, and the worm is shaking, not only because of the cold as they gain elevation, but wishes at the top of this, 380 feet in the air. Then wishes at the end of his dash just hovers, and he's above the cloud line. Right? That's above clouds. Oh, sure, why not? Above the cloud line, and you see like this, not a full moon. This waning moon. Yeah, halfway waning. This half moon, bright half moon in the clear sky, and wishes beating his butterfly wings. And as he opens his mouth to chortle, then the statue worm gets released from his mouth and starts plummeting down. Papi, Angelito Guapo, what's terminal velocity? What's speed and stuff? How long would that take, 380 feet in the air, for a stone worm, a small stone worm, to plummet to the ground? Do you know what that is? I don't know how to figure that out. And I want to assign my Ravenclaw father to figure that out. Question mark? All right. Yeah, I don't know what terminal velocity is or how long that'll take. Let's just say 12 seconds. That's 2 rounds. I don't know. But I will roll to see. I do not know. Okay. I will. That might be a Dean research after the fact tomorrow. Or next week. But I will roll for something right now. And if it's 17 or better, then something happens. 13. All right. So as it plummets, then this tiny little stone worm kind of gets caught in the wind and starts spinning around in circles, and then does cartwheels in the air and just flutters off far off course into the surrounding woods around the Restful Lily, and then blinks out of existence as it disappears from Wish's view. So, great. Glimmer. Glimmer runs to the doorway with another full bucket of water, enters in, sees sees this giant monstrous form of Peggy Pigknuckle and a dead, twisted hellhound on top of them, and hears screaming, a blood-curdling scream from the left, and a brave Glimmer, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, over to Rock, who is standing ferociously with his arm extended out towards this woodland creature in the corner, and Glimmer,
Oh, this is so terrifying.
and so he will run up and then splash Auntie Warmheart with another bucket of water as she screams. Glimmer will roll for an attack. It's kind of a ranged weapon because you're throwing water, but also he's towering over her and she's blinded. I'll just roll once to see if it's like super damage. 17, that's pretty good. So yeah, I will roll some numbers now. $13. As Glimmer runs up, and then throws a bucket of water onto the squirming, screaming Auntie Warmheart, who then writhes in pain as the water splashes on her and then mixes with the paint, and it almost looks like this neon green blood now sopping over this wood form.
I'm melting, oh, what a world.
Angelito Guapo in the chat. Yep. So, she gets hit with this water, and it's starting to bubble up now and steaming and adding just blinding pain, and then wishes runs back towards the door of the art studio, and then scatters, giving a birth around the Hellhound and Peggy Pigknuckle, and then runs out the door. So, yeah. That's Glimmer. And Toot Toot's turn. Toot Toot upstairs is gonna go downstairs as per Tipsy's request and stand behind Onyx. Circumstance has a Bardic Inspiration now. Bardic. And Rock freaking has a Bardic Inspiration. I'm excited to see how that's going to pay off, because I've been talking about that for 7 episodes now. All right. Toot Toot goes downstairs. Auntie Warmheart. Let's do a Constitution saving throw for Auntie Warmheart. Oh. I can remove this bookmark as well. Did you roll water damage? Yes, I did. That was 13. Constitution saving throw, +3. 8. +3, 11. So, then after a third of a minute of screaming, then Auntie Warmheart passes out. Just from sheer emotional exhaustion. Okay. Now it's Tipsy's turn. Tipsy, using his mage hand, will move behind Onyx and use the mage hand to go through the broken entrance of the door and then slap down onto this glyph of warding, which the glyph of warding scratched into the floor at the top of the stairs inside the door. It's a glyph of warding created by a glyph of warding spell. The hags use this glyph to eliminate intruders. It can be detected with a successful DC 13 intelligence investigation check and triggers when any creature except the hags or their minion passes over it. When triggered, the glyph splashes acid in a 20-foot radius sphere centered on it, big enough to splatter the whole room and the central staircase top to bottom. This sphere spreads around corners. Each creature in the area must take a DC 13 dexterity saving throw, taking 22 or some acid damage. I'll roll for that. On a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one. They are out of the stairwell. So acid splashes down. I will give it disadvantage to splash up against Onyx because he's there. Disadvantage. That's a 9. So it does not hit Onyx. And as it, you hear it like it set off. And then as toxic acid drips, like sprays into the staircase. And then as it hits the stone of this staircase, then it kind of quickly evaporates. And then it is done. So that is Tipsy using a bonus action to hit the glyph. Then he will use, I'll say, movement to then go back upstairs and stealth right here. Stealth, Tipsy. 16 plus 10. I love that. Plus 10. With a 26, then he can see the rest of this quarter of the room. All right, so what is that? I don't know. It's a bed and some crates and maybe another bed or a platform or something. But he is hidden. Let's make that hidden. All right. Auntie Warmheart, passed out. Let's move all of this kind of over because it likes going, oh, well. And then Glimmer is running again back towards his source of water. Morgana is waiting. Onyx then raging. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. And then jumps over like you can see this green charred floor where the glyph was. And then he just runs into the room. Will he choose left or right? He will, and then just keep going right, and then he can see all of this. So half of the room upstairs. Oh, okay. What is that? So Oh, okay. Well, if he's there, then also he could... Let's just do this. If he's there, then he could logically look this way. And sure enough, Morgana is over here. Yeah. Onyx will run into the space, and what we see is T18, Hag's Lair. The air grows cooler as you near the top of the tower, and it carries a putrid scent. What might once have been an elegant bedroom has long since soiled and ruined. Murals of Seiyun that line the walls have been defaced with dirt and filth. 3 beds. Yeah, it's fine. 3 beds are covered in moldy blankets and animal furs, including one topped by a canopy of giant bones and reeking, untanned hides. Empty crates are scattered throughout the room like furniture holding broken weapons, moldering cloth, and other odd objects. The top floor of the tower has been turned into the lair. Each of the 3 hags has its own disgusting bed, and the strange objects that fill the crates are shared by all. So, just for funsies, we'll make it obvious. So, a blind Morgana has used some of these crates in the meantime to make herself a barricade. She would have dragged them forward, and as soon as someone had entered into the space, then she had her action readied for a witch bolt. Which seems fair, huh? She had plenty of time of hearing the awful sounds, and the screaming has finally died down, but you could hear that all the way up here. Which, that was kind of cruel, huh? But, I mean, they were real bad, so I don't feel that bad about it. Let's just do just a little tidying up real quick. Merge layers. Cool. So, there we go. Nice. That's really cool that I can change around the map. That's nice and fun. I like it. Yeah, Morgana would have prepared a witch bolt. So that is now flung in Onyx's direction, which of their spells that these hags had, there's a bunch of them, and they share spell slots between them as part of this coven, but I separated them out right before the last episode. If they successfully took the hag eye out, then I needed to know which ones would work only through sight of like a creature you can see within range, or of the wording of the spells, which one is just within range, because that is a huge difference. They had some awful stuff that they could have done if they saw you, but that took out like 2/3 of their spells, which is great. This witch bolt, a beam of crackling blue energy lances towards a creature within range, forming a sustained arc of lightning between you and the target. So she needs to make a ranged spell attack against that creature. Whoopsies. Sure, I did that off screen with Auntie Warmheart and Chainco. Why not? So she needs to make a ranged spell attack against that creature. However, I will say that she's blind, so that is at a disadvantage. Ranged spell attack. +4, I think. Yes, this is going to be another little bit of a long episode, so maybe another half hour, because normally I would end, but I don't really want this battle to go on a 3rd episode. So the attack bonus is 4. Ranged spell attack. Is that what that is? Ranged spell attack. Spell attack bonus, yes. So +4, and it needs to hit Onyx's armor class, which is 16. +4. 8 +4. That's 12, baby. That does not hit. So, wait. At disadvantage, that's a 14. So 14 +4 would have hit. But she hears Onyx coming up, and then dunk into the room, And then, oh wait, Onyx, Morgana, Onyx, did he do anything with his action, or did he just run up the stairs? I will say both of these happen simultaneously. So Morgana heard Onyx come up the stairs, and then that triggered her readied spell attack, which is a Witch Bolt. At which level, though? Okay. They have 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 6th levels. So I will do... what's 6? Hold on. Okay, I will divide a D20 into threes. So 1, 2, 3 is 1st level, 4 through 6 is 2nd level, etc. If it's a 19 and a 20, then we'll get there when we get there. But a 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So with their last 3rd level spell slot, then she missed. She tried to cast Witch Bolt at 3rd level at the noise, but she missed. And then she hears crack, and then she hits her own bed with the canopy and the bones for just 2 lightning damage. Well, no. 2 plus 3, that's 5. Plus 4, 5, 9 points of damage. So she can hear the jingling string of gross bones that are on her bed, like just... And then you hear clink, 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 clink. And then just small explosions of her bed, and then she, like, wails out. But she has half cover now, because she made a little crate barricade. So actually, I will do this instead. So to remember that she has half cover, then I will cover her up with half. Yeah, I like it. So then Onyx, dodging out of the way of this, like, crackling black, like, this really thick crackling black lightning, as it hits the bed, and he has half a moment of sadness as it destroys a bunch of trophies, then he will pull out one of his hand axes from behind his back and then chuck it at Morgana, which half cover is, I feel, +5. It adds 5 to your AC, I think. Cover 251. Or 272. Well, let's check the player's handbook for cover. Cover 196. Cover. Half cover is +2 bonus to AC. Okay, +2 bonus. Oh, well. No, yeah, just half cover. Because I said it. So, +2 to AC. That would be a 17 total, I think. For the Hague. No, that's 19. Yikes. All right, well, Onyx will throw. He has advantage on attacks because it's she's blind. So, yep, he will do that. Because I did not say he did a reckless attack, because that would have made the Witch Bolt better. So, a 6 plus a 2. Nope, that's 8. So, he just, and then the hand axe, clang, 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 over to one side. And then she kind of, like, jerks her head over to the sound of the clanging hand axe. So that's Morgana and Onyx. Chainco. All right. Circumstance has a bardic inspiration. He's just standing there staring. Rock will... Oof. Interesting. So Rock will see that Auntie Warmheart fainted, and he will step forward and... No. He will say,
Hags represent all that is evil and cruel. Though they resemble withered crones, there is nothing mortal about these monstrous creatures whose form reflect only the wickedness in their hearts. Ancient beings with the origins in the Feywild, hags are cankers on the mortal world. When hags must work together, they form covens in spite of their selfish natures. A coven is made up of hags of any type, all of whom are equals within the group. However, each of the hags continues to desire more personal power. A coven consists of 3 hags so that any arguments between 2 hags can be settled by a third. If more than two hags ever come together, as might happen if 2 covens come into conflict, the result is usually chaos. Arrogant to a fault, a bargain with a hag is always dangerous.
and he's listing off all these things about hags as he steps closer, and he will twist his arm in the air, and the phantom form... Oh, does it diminish if she is knocked unconscious? Or incapacitated, as it were. It doesn't say. It doesn't say if it doesn't work on incapacitated or this spell has no effect on undead or constructs, which this is neither. So, yeah. As he walks forward with spouting hag lore, then he twists his arm in the air. Can he do both? Can he both shoot her with the loaded crossbow and do this phantasmal force? You know what? That's really cool. Yes, I will do that, because that's cool. He will walk forward, spouting hag lore, and then he will twist his arm in the air, and then, as if it were a dream, as if it were a nightmare, then these monstrous true forms of the hags reappear in Auntie Warmheart's mind and shatter through. Double tap. Dodie or something and Angelito Guapo say double tap in the chat. Both of them, which is very cute. As if tearing through her consciousness in a form of a nightmare, then now all three forms are together and writhing about in pain, and then she wakes back up and starts screaming again. So that's another just 6 and a 3, that's 9. And then a 2 and a 5. That's very good. Great. And she wakes up and just screams, and the screams travel all the way up the stone tower, and they're just heartbreaking, but also the hags have been cruel, so Rock feels justified. And then walking straight up to Auntie Warmheart, then we see just a close-up of her screaming, and like she's losing breath again, and like this gross sap tears are running down, but then also like this whole time bugs have been expelling through her dead knots in the wood eye sockets and just squirming about, and all of them are like jittering, and like it's as if you put rice on a speaker, so it's doing like this twitching jerky movement of all these maggots and ants, and doing that. And then we see in the close-up the end of the light crossbow barrel like touching up against her forehead, and then Rock will shoot. That's a 19, which is very good. Yep, that 19 plus 4 with a 23 as she screams, and then the wood of the bolt goes through the wood of her forehead, and the screams are no more. And the silence is deafening and ringing through everyone's ears now, but especially Rock, who was at point blank of the screams. So, wow. Let's do this instead. All right. Wow. Vicious, but Rock with Bardic Inspiration, the statue worm. So that I don't have to tell you in yeah, wow, says Angelito Guapo in El Chat. Yep. So that I don't have to tell you at the beginning of the next episode, then the mechanics would be from this height, every 10 feet of falling is 1d6 of damage. So that'll be 38 d6 of damage. And the statue falling would hit the ground. The worm would, with like 1 point of HP, would crack, and then the statue form would come back. But any damage that the polymorphed form sustains carries over, so the statue takes 36 d6 damage, or 38 d6 damage minus 1. And I won't roll that right now. I will tell you tomorrow, future Victor. But as also it's this very light stone worm, then yeah, it flew off into, like, it just got caught in the wind and goes veering far off course instead of falling right next to the stone tower so that we see this. But I'm just letting y'all know because I like the mechanics. Then it flutters into the forest and then crashes on the ground, and then I would imagine 38 d6 damage minus 1 is enough to take out a statue. So either way, that statue is not coming back. I will see if it's for sure dead tomorrow, but Circumstance, rock, wishes. Then wishes just flies back down. 36d9 damage -1. Almost nice. Oh, yeah, 369. That would have been fun. So, one turn, then wishes is at 260 feet in the air. So another couple rounds and he'll be back. So Glimmer is still running. Bap. Toot Toot is now going up the stairs. 1, 2, 3. Sees, as he's going up the stairs, then he sees one of the canopy beds just gets light up with a witch bolt. And then what could Toot Toot do? Cool. So he will turn around this way. 1, 2, and then see oh boy. Great. See Morgana behind a stack of barrels. It's a stack of crates. This makeshift barricade, and then Toot Toot will do this. Which, let's see real quick. Oh, it's not any, like, it's not actual. You don't have to roll for it. Cool. So, then Toot Toot will say, and the rest is silence, and then throw out his hands, and then, like, nega music notes. This, like, black energy to match the black lightning of Witch Bolt. This, like, inverted colors of music notes fly towards Morgana and then create this bubble around her. And you see her, like, wincing and shutting her already blind eyes as she cups her ears and is just flailing about now in this silent agony. And he cast Silence, which is a 20 radius sphere. So what does that look like? Radius. Oh, that's big, huh? Hold on. Let me... 20 radius foot sphere. That's like that big, huh? 20 radius. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sure is. Okie day. And then let's do this. And then color it with black. So this is what the sphere looks like. And then he'll just put it to that kind of corner of the room. And then she's just there. And same mechanics as Saith. Then she... she can't cast any spells with the verbal components. Because this bubble of silence, no sound can be created within or pass through a 20-foot radius sphere inside. The creature's deafened and immune to thunder damage. Casting a spell with verbal components is impossible. So that's Toot Toot. Auntie Warmheart is no more. Tipsy will run up. 1, over toward. He'll hide behind Toot Toot again. No, he'll squeeze past Toot Toot into this little corner, squeeze between Toot Toot and the staircase, and he is no longer hidden. But he will have sneak attack damage against Morgana. Or do they want to bring her in for questioning? No, not really. So he will. Oh, but +2 AC now because she's half cover. So Tipsy will throw the automatic magical throwing knife, which hits automatically, but he also did not get his daggers back. Both of his daggers are in Peggy's corpse, because I did make a note of that. Automatic throwing knife he could do. I'm trying to think what will make the best damage. 2 weapon fighting. No, let's do even though he has his automatic throwing knife. No, he can use that as a 2 weapon fighting. Nope, not if he does what I was thinking of. Can he throw a short sword? No. Yeah, he'll just do his automatic throwing knife, because why not? Because it automatically hits, which is good because she has 19 armor class right now. So automatic throwing knife automatically hits, and that will be 1d6. 1d6? Why is it 1d6? Okay. 1d6, so that's 5 plus 4 damage. That's 9. And then, because he has advantage on the attack, because she is blind. Boy, that's huge. Let's see if either of those attacks are like a natural 20, which will which will double the sneak attack. That's 11. And then 13. Nope. Okay. So 5 plus 4, 9, and then 3d6 sneak damage. That's 10. That's great. 4 and a 6. 10 and then 4. So 14, 9, 23. Awesome. And that will be great. So the automatic throwing knife goes let's say into her clavicle, which is the skin is wrapped tight around her clavicle, and every bone, you can see every rib, and you can see the individual bones move as she flails her arms, disquieting. Not great through the air. Disquieting? Is that a word? Let's see. So that's Tipsy. Morgana's turn. Morgana's completely discombobulated because she can't hear anything. She can't see anything. All of her spells. Let's see. Witch Bolt, does that have a verbal component? Sure does. Dispel magic. Ooh, yeah, she'll try that. Oh, okay. But here's the thing. Dispel magic has a verbal component as well. So she will try and stumble out of this silence. Well, does she even know that it's a circle? Nope. As far as she knows, then golly. Okay. What she does instead she blinks out of existence. Let's get rid of that half cover. She blinks out of existence, and then I will roll. Okay. 1, 2, 3. So we see her blink out of existence, and one of these crates tumbles forward as she trips on it. And then out of the circle, then we hear thump. Tipsy feels right in front of him a fallen form, like a body hit the ground. And she used her Is that an action? Yeah, it's an action to use invisible passage, but she rolled so that she ran into the crates and she tumbled forward. Wait. Yeah, no, that's correct. And she's there. She will use... and that's really her turn. Well, 1. Okay. And then she will try and move again. Golly. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay. So this will be... Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then she will just move in a random direction that she thinks, and then you hear another tripping on one of the beds, and so then you hear and see like the top of the bed press down as a body falls onto the bed. So that's not great. Onyx, this whole time, Onyx runs forward, 1, 2, to the fallen crate, and then can't see anything, so he runs towards Tipsy and Toot Toot, and both of them point directly towards the bed, and Onyx will attack the bed. Here's the thing. Oh, well, reckless. Okay, here's the thing. He will use reckless attack, which gives advantage on the fallen invisible Morgana lying in the bed. She is prone now, so any melee attack will have advantage. She's blind, prone. She's invisible, which is 1 disadvantage. So that works out so that he has advantage. Yes. Okay, cool. So this will be advantage. A 16. 16 with that ice anchor is 22, which hits. So that's all that beautiful damage. So 2d6 plus 1d4 ice damage plus 6. Dropped ground. So 3, 9 plus 6, 15. Okay. So Onyx sees the indent that a body is made in this very gross, stained, dirty, with literal patches of dirt and mud in it. This one also has pieces of bark and... No, you know what? Even better. This one has, like, shed red fur all over it and claw marks on the bedposts and stuff. So, attacking one of the hags on Peggy's bed, then he feels the familiar sinking in of the fluke into the form, and the end of the fluke is just floating but stuck in the air as if in a form. So that's good. That's good. That's Onyx. Chainco rolls. Oh boy. So if you're keeping track, then that is 4 death saving throws. You need 3 successes in order to not flat out die, and then, or 4 failures to flat out die. And since I've rolled 4 times and he has done neither, that means that we have 2 checks in successes and 2 X's in failures. So really the next one determines if he lives or dies. Which, since Rock took out Auntie Warmheart, then he could do something. But Circumstance is just upstairs. Interesting. Okay. Circumstances upstairs. Rock then will run 1, 2, 3, 4 over to Chainco. Should I keep the rolls that I did for the medicine and nature check? Or I will just do a straight roll. Yeah. Rock will do just a straight roll, because I would feel bad if he doesn't at least try. Again, because he has this opportunity. But Rock will roll this +1 for medicine and survival. So a 10 +1. That's not going to do it. Rock will try, and then fulfilling his flash of a vision that he got earlier, then he's bent down over Chainco, and then he can feel just hanging on by a thread, a spider silk. Life is maybe still clinging on to Chainco, but Rock doesn't know enough about the human or dwarf body to do anything. Wishes flies back down, so he's at 140 feet. With a dash action. Glimmer just runs. Toot Toot. Seeing Onyx over the body of... Well, seeing Onyx over what Toot Toot presumes is Morgana's body invisible. Then Toot Toot walks up. Can Toot Toot do anything? He just has melee weapons stuff. He will draw his Anderson's didgeridoo, the quarterstaff, and then with two-handed versatile, he will slam down on... Oh, also, Onyx had reckless attack, so that was 3 thumbs up for hitting. So Toot Toot slams down. He will have advantage overall. So he will roll twice and then +4 A natural 20 plus 4. So this damage is doubled. Or the dice is doubled. So 1d8 doubled plus 2. Which ones are the d8s? The ones I haven't used yet. No, just one, and then I'll double it. 3 plus 3, that's 6. Plus 2, that's 10. And with that, then you Toot Toot slams down the didgeridoo, and it connects with a face. And then as he raises it up, then the body of Morgana appears lying in Peggy's bed, and the face is caved in, and an ice anchor is sticking out of her chest, and her gangly form is twisted and real not good. Tipsy's magical automatic throwing knife is sticking out of her clavicle also. And that is the end of the hags. So let's bring Morgana's token back up. And then let's adjust the saturation of it. Woof. And then let's change the outer glow to be black. Wow. Yeah. And the limited resources page is full of just black, red dry erase marker. So we really did a number here, folks. Yeah, Morgana is out of order now. All right. That was Toot Toot's turn. Tipsy has a turn. Onyx, Chainco. I will roll, because the last little thing... Yeah, I'll just do the last couple things. So, the statue worm is gone. Wishes... boy howdy, Battle Royale. Amazing, thank you. Wishes, after a round, flies back into the window and perches there and listens around and hears some noise upstairs. So then he goes upstairs and comes to find the vignette of everyone over Morgana's form in the bed. Boy, that doesn't sound good, huh? And then let's roll to see if Chainco makes it. So, literally the last death saving throw. God, and it fell in my lap. All right. Well, it landed directly on a 10. So, one more, because I don't want to play, 1 through 10 and then 11 through 20. No, that's right in the middle. So, one more death saving throw. Okay. And then... Rock kneeling over the body. Then he senses Chainco. And there is still a fraction of her breath left. So he made 3 successes in a row. So Chainco is alive, but he needs healing. But all of the hags are dead. So that's amazing. Wow. I thought we would have anything else, but no. The combat wanted to happen. So thank you so much for watching. I'm Victor Rivera, and this was D&Me, a one-man show where I play D&D with myself. I stream Wednesday nights on Twitch at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I upload the video the following morning on Thursdays on my YouTube page. So today's episode will be up June 9th, and next week's episode will be live Wednesday, June 15th. You can find me on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and a bunch of other stuff. Where on this link tree, tr.ee/D&Me adventure, and like Gnome, woof, Chainco lives. Yeah, I did not expect that, because when the Hellhound bit him in the room on his leg, it took him down to 1 hit point. So that whole time, Chenko only had 1 hit point. So that's freaking bonkers. A bunch of other stuff. Linktree, yep. I rolled to see which of my characters gets tonight's outro. Tipsy gave the last outro, so I will have Onyx roll for 1, Rock roll for 2, and Toot roll for 3, and then 4, 5, 6. Just like that. So for Onyx.
Yeah, I didn't do the killing blow on Peggy. Or
as far as he knows, Auntie Warmheart is still alive. So,
and I didn't do the killing blow on Morgana, but I'm proud that Toot did. I hit an invisible thing, which is always fun. So, all right, let's go downstairs and help Auntie Warmheart.
And that's it. So, good night, and thanks for watching.